Great people. Salute. Let's get into it. You make my heart go. Hold up. Great morning. All love, life to you this day. Welcome to Nazarite Strength Academy. In for truth, to be specific. Where I want to push you to be better. I want to push you to be more substantial. Leave an imprint, so to speak. Take account of your own activity and be ever mindful that regrets don't make you. Fail opportunities don't make you. Failure in positions where you thought that you should excel, it don't make you. What make you? If you have the relentlessness it takes in order to be back and come out rushing. To be ever mindful that offensive skills pays the dividends. Yeah, they say defense win championship. If you don't put no points on the board, it doesn't matter how much D you play. It's a great day to be great, man. Hear her out. We get to it. Check this out. Right? I'm coming in a space where I want to allow you to know that I understand what it means to teach one, right? To each one teach one, right? To come to the table with exactly what you have to offer. I speak, I train, I remind people that fraudulence is done. We're dead over here, we ain't coming over here. I remind people that the world is built on deception. And in the midst of that deception, we are losing all of our mojo. This day, man, I'm trying to bring some life to someone. I'm trying to remind someone in the midst of their willingness, they shall have the wheels to drive their wheel to a win. You know what I'm talking about? They'll have the willingness to say no. The willingness to back away from things that you know that are detrimental. The willingness to say, maybe it was me. Maybe I do need a tad bit of work. All of the things are coming to the place that they are pointing at me. And then this day, I'm going to examine that. I'm going to see why I keep skipping. I'm going to see why I keep faltering. I'm going to see why I keep failing there. Great people, great people, great people. Salute, blessing honor to you this day. I'm Lee Jesus Posey. I'm a part of this whole Nazarite Camp Academy, an academy that reminds everyone that there was a day of community, an academy that reminds everyone that there's a sense of responsibility, not just in the world abroad, but first and foremost, the responsibility of you to take ownership of your integrity while we are asking other people to trust us, to give us their all. We should be in a place of making sure that we understand that respect is earned. It is not given. We don't just give you a grade. We are examining you the same way. It doesn't matter if you come looking flawless. It doesn't matter if you come with the highly expensive things. It doesn't matter if you come showing your business first and allowing us to know that there's also much work that needs to be done in the physical world. You have to take account of your own activity, your own actions. This day, I'm here to remind someone that it's all good. I'm also here to remind someone that I know what it is to be in a place where you feel like you're in the best place ever. You ain't where you were. Yeah. But you ain't nowhere near where you're going either. But there's such an enjoyment that comes with what is happening. There's such a thirst, a burst of the energy because of what is happening. What is happening? You're changing. All of the times that you said, I'm going to treat them exactly how they treat me, you don't think like that no more. You realize that that's toxic within itself, that you are changing when you yourself can be a standout. You are declaring to be different, correct? We are declaring to be these extraordinary league of gentlemen and ladies, correct? If this is the case, how am I conforming to the very thing that is making me upset? Making me frustrated, making me feel as though I can't date the opposite sex. I need not even look at the opposite sex. Their whole agenda of feminizing a man and allowing a woman to know that she only needs another woman. We don't need no man on the whole planet. It's working. Yeah. It's been etched in minds. It's been carved in hearts. Yeah. It's working. How familiar are you with that? Because to the extent that you are familiar with that, then you can understand that you're not being that different at all when you say, I'm going to treat you just like you treat me. I get it. Talking about reciprocating the same energy. Be ever mindful when I'm talking about reciprocating the same energy. I'm talking about actually leaving, not being around the circumstance at all. I'm talking about understanding that I don't want to be forced by someone that's over opinionated. Right? My big brother's over opinionated, right? Right? Society, the government is over opinionated. In so much there's over opinionated. You see it down your timeline. You see it in the hearts of your friends. You see it in the mentality of those that you watch, that you scroll by. You see it, right? It's laughter. It's ostracization. It's trolling. But it's never encouraging. It's never encouraging you to be your best version. You know what I'm saying? Staying strong, man. I know you got something in you. It ain't reminding you of how powerful you are. It ain't reminding you of the day when they seen love trickle like no one else has ever showed or demonstrated love ever before. It ain't shown to the place where you're like, man, I don't know how you can be so patient. Right? You ever been to that place where someone has said, how can you be so patient? That's me. That's where I'm at. How could you be so patient? You don't bust down doors. You don't do anything. It seems as though you never really care. So that's why people leave you so fast, because it's like you never really care. But in quite truth, in all truth, I care in abundance. The misunderstanding is what is happening there. I care in abundance, but I understand at the same time that I gotta compartmentalize my emotions. I can't allow you to have the vast majority of my emotions when I'm journeying, and in the midst of my journey, I'll have to regurgitate those very emotions. And if I got them all stuck over there with how you played me, if I got them all stuck over there thinking, man, I got married and I said I would never get no divorce, if I'm always thinking, man, my bank account ain't matching my talent, if I'm always thinking, man, nobody is ever looking at me, no one is ever checking for me, then if I can only see that, then what do I really see? I'm talking about being a benefit. I'm talking about coming to fruition yourself. I'm talking about allowing individuals to know that you truly do stand on the worth that you know to have, that you are known to have, that you are pushing forth to exhibit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tapping into yourself. I'm talking about not allowing individuals to tell you what to do, but more so you allow individuals to know this is what you do. Not after they make a statement, but before they even make a statement. It's like, I don't get out like this. I don't get out like this. Don't call me after midnight. I don't like when people topsy-turvy. If I tell you then our time together is our time together, our time apart is our time apart, don't come sweat me, don't come pushing me. I won't come sweat you, I won't come pushing you. Never, ever, ever ask me for anything that you yourself are not willing to reciprocate. There's that word again. Willing. There's that word again. Willing. I tapped on a little something earlier, and I want someone to know exactly why I came today. I came to remind someone it is your willingness that will be the wheels that will drive your wheel to a win. Your willingness. Your willingness to push away from some things. Your willingness to intermit fast. Deny some things. It ain't all about food. Sometimes you might need to deny your phone. Sometimes you might need to not pick up that phone. Sometimes you might need to pick up on your new episode. Let me slow down. Hold on now. Hold on. Let me slow down. That's just an exciting thing. Hold on now. Sometimes fasting have to do with you taking your eyes off that television, because that television is telling you that it's okay to be deceptive. That television is telling you it's okay to be by yourself. That television is telling you it's okay to mask your problems with your new eyeliner, with your new body, with your new wardrobe, with your new TikTok. Your mind is warped according to 15-second intervals. You putting on shows for 15-second intervals, so when an individual comes like me and say, show your work, you're like, come on, man, we ain't got to see all that. Just make a clip, make a summary of it, because you don't have the depth to sit there and pay attention. You don't have the depth to sit there and converse. You want to loud talk. You want to harp on one point where it feels as though you're being attacked. You don't want to hear nothing. But you want to ostracize an individual for leaving, saying they ain't know what they had. They knew what they had. They knew that you were very dangerous when it comes down to it because you don't communicate. You have all of these ideas about how men should treat a woman. You have all these ideas how a woman should go about her business. You have all these ideas of what a single person should do, should say, how they should conduct themselves, how they don't own up to. But you can't say nothing when someone asks you something. You ain't strong. You ain't grown. You ain't in strength. You ain't willing. You got to be willing. The willingness will be the wheels, like the driving force. It would be the thing that reminds you when you don't want to do it, that you got to do it because that's the thing that's setting you apart. That's the thing that's reminding you that you're not insignificant. You are seen. That's the thing that's making you take account that maybe you are suffering with depression because you don't want to go outside. You don't want to put on good clothes. You don't want to do your hair. You don't want anyone to see you like this. And more than anything, you don't want anyone to call you. You don't want any contact with anyone. So because you dropped off the social media page, we're just thinking that you're getting your life on track, that you're working really hard. But in actuality, you are suffering for real because you don't feel like you can talk to anybody else. Am I talking to anybody else besides myself? Excuse me, let me put a little smile in there. Besides myself, I'm always addressing me before I can even think about addressing you. I'm the one that's been to the orphanages. I'm the one that had to go back and forth to 16 different group homes. I'm the one that had no father figures, but here me and Sprinkle back and forth. I got to call Big Brother, but simultaneously as I'm calling them Big Brother, they are reminding me of how to do something that's illegitimate, something that's illegal, something that can get my head busted if I truly ain't paying attention to what's around. They teaching me that I got to get it quick. I don't know if that's really my big brother or just a big homie that just trying to live through me. I say, I don't know if I can consider that my big brother or just a big homie that's trying to live through me. Some of y'all ain't even hip to people in and around your life, trying to corral you, trying to push you and tell you a direction to go because they've mixed that direction and you have some of the same attributes, some of the same characteristics that will lead you along that path. So they only call you gifted because you do what they used to do. But the moment you start expanding or expounding on your own principles, talents, gift, your own heavily working, your own standard, they got a problem with you. They're not willing to submit to the idea that you're not under their control. They're not willing to submit to the idea that the answer will sometimes be no. So you got to be willing to dish out the no. You got to be willing to go offensively with your skills, your talents, and your ability. You got to be willing to go offensively with your mind power, with your attitude, with this idea that just because I'm handsome, I ain't got to play with every female that I meet. I ain't got to stroke and lay down with every female that I meet. I got to go forward with a different mentality, willing to put myself on the line because I'm not willing to just settle for anything. My willingness are the wheels. They are pushing me to be dynamic. They're the wheels that are driving me to be conscious of my will. The will to never be broken. The will to never go back to a place where I myself look at myself and see disgust all over my face, to see disappointment all over my face, to look at my skin and say, oh, you're looking warped out here. These streets are whooping you. To remind me of my will. My will is to never falter. My will is to be more than a conqueror. My will is to say, yeah. I'm built nice. I got a sense of wisdom. I got a wonderful heart. I sit on the heel of integrity. But at the same time, I won't be played with. So in the midst of me feeling as though I'm being played with, you might see some things that will have to remind you that I got a strong will. That I'll have to remind you that I spaz out if you think that I'm just like everyone else. I don't have to talk about I'm different. I'm just different. And so now I have to come before the people. I have to come before the people and remind someone that their willingness will be the very wheels that will drive their will to a win. Sometimes we forget what the will is, so we can't win because we forget that the will is to be more than a conqueror. We forget that the will is to be pleasing to God. We forget that the will is to be an extremist in all that we do, the best trainer that we can be, the best entrepreneur that we can hold on to, the best father and parenting individual that the child needs or the village has need of. We forget the will, so we can't win. When you forget the will, you done forgot the goal all along. So you don't know what to willingly submit to. You don't know what to willingly say no and take the abuse, the verbal abuse that will be coming from people that are attacking you mainly because you are doing things that they are not doing in this season. Being proactive, considering yourself important, thinking that you have a life, thinking that in the midst of everyone telling you what you should do, you too good of a person to do that. You say, I'm going to try that anyway. People want to put labels on the good-hearted people. It's weird when you have already allowed them to know that you are the person that's walking in standard. You are already the person that is willing to go to any limb to be the best version of yourself. They always come with these little bitty critiques reminding you that there's still some more that you got to do, as if you don't remind them through your drive, through your willingness, through your submission, through the remembrance of your will that you're here to win unequivocally. You're going to win over that bad attitude. You're going to win over that small mouth. You're going to win over your depression. You're going to win over your COVID status. All these things got to do with mind games. The games, the things, the words that we say to ourselves. The mind game that look in the mirror to say, man, I'm killing them today. I look so amazing. Oh my God, I'm feeling sexy. And then the moment you go outside, someone says, man, you look amazing. You're like, yeah, I look all right. That's fraudulence. You praising yourself. You are lifting yourself to the highest level. You are making sure in the midst of putting this on, you feel 110%. You take your pictures, you hear your music, the words line up to how you feel. And when you go out, you say, it's all right, it's all right. You're fronting. You are losing us in the midst of your fronting. So when I come and I say, yeah, I'm powerful in all of my measures, there's not too many things that I do that I'm not going to be exceptional at, that I'm not going to capitalize, that I'm not going to creep up on the best one doing it because my work ethic is excessive. I'm the type to drive, baby, when I'm sad. I'm the type to drive, baby, when I'm happy. It doesn't matter. When I get in the zone, I'm tapped in, I'm locked in. It's been all of my life. I wasted my life on those streets. All of my life, I was trying to find out how do I fit in with you. All of my life, I was trying to say, if I just play ball, majority of the people do that, I'll be accepted. If I go here to dance since everybody else is dancing, then I'll be accepted. If I begin to speak a little bit more and then come transparent, then I'll be accepted. If I start to robbing the brothers like I'm doing on the block and we get to sagging my pants and hanging with the homies and got some freaks, I got my smoke, I got my drink, and my two-step, right? I'm going to be all right. But in actuality, that's all fraud. I come to talk to somebody about willingness. I don't know who needs to hear this. I got a great idea, though. Those that's afraid to come to the forefront. Those that's still in this place that I don't tell people I don't know my business. People that still think therapists are the enemy. While yet and still, they can't talk to their partner.